Welcome back to Upper Michigan Today on this Thursday morning. I'm Andrew Lacombe in for Elizabeth, who stepped out to work on a special assignment. But we're talking this morning about the Marquette Marathon. Is happening Saturday, August 31st, so just a few days away. With us right now, Lindsay Mackerzak and Matt Williams. Thanks for being here to tell us about this event powered by NMU. And I want to talk first about people coming out to support runners coming across the finish line, because as someone who's done a couple of these after running 26.2 miles, it feels really good to get to that finish line at the Superior Dome. And here's some cheers.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of great places as a spectator to watch this race. A little bit in the woods in the beginning, but once you get into Negaunee and all through Marquette and all along the lakeshore, great spectator spots. And I think that's what keeps the runners going. Finish line is a great spot. There's going to be a nice little runner corral where the runners finish. We get them checked out medically and then get them some food and get them off to their families. But the first runners, I think, will be coming in from the marathon at about 9:45. And then after that, it will be a constant stream till about 1:30 of finishers all day long. About 1,000 people overall.
Yeah, there are some great spots. You can see, people twice coming through and figure things out. I love the creative signs that always, it takes your mind off of the constant running there for at least a couple seconds.
And for somebody that hasn't participated in this race before, and if they're still on the fence thinking about maybe, what's the course like? Is it going to be a little more difficult, lots of hills? Where are they going to be running?
One of the great things about this race and what draws a lot of people is because it's a mostly downhill course. And especially the half marathons, almost all downhill or flat. One hill towards the end on the big marathon, but the rest of it's downhill. It's a very fast course, and it's the last Boston qualifier of the year. So there's a lot of people who are still looking to make their Boston qualifying time, and this is a great course for them.
And we can take a look at that right now, I think. I have a map of there. It starts in Ishpeming, and is that right?
Yep. Correct. At the Cliffs Shaft Mining Museum is the start.
And you can see several points along the way, different water stations. Lindsay, you will have, different athletes staffed all throughout the course. What's that going to be looking like?
Yeah, it's going to be great for the runners just to be supported throughout the entire course, because at every single one of most of those numbers that you'll see up there, there'll be athletes at all those road crossings and then at those aid stations, and especially towards the end when those marathoners are going around Presque Isle, that's when people really need that support. So that's where we'll have a couple aid stations there, cheer everyone in for that final push. But it really creates. There's going to be constant energy throughout the whole thing from the athletes.
Yeah, that hill, when you get on the Presque Isle Road there, actually, in my view, that hill is okay. It's just like what follows, right? You get the hill and you're like, oh, cool, I didn't. And then you're like, oh, no, it's like just a flat and kind of hard to, you're in the woods, so it's kind of hard to place how much progress you've made, and it gets a little, that's when you're like, okay, we can.
Yeah. It's right when you need the cheering.
Yes, you need the cheers, so we appreciate that.
Yeah. I feel like that really does make a huge difference. In 2022, when I did that first race, I had 9.85 miles. That was my leg of the relay, and I think I was able to keep going because of, well, the water stations. The athletes were just hyping me up so much, but then the nutrition pieces too, the honey stingers, the water, that obviously helps. But then all of the people just cheering for me, the cowbells. No one had a sign for me. They weren't there for me, but still, they cheered me on, gave me high fives along the way. That can make such a difference for somebody that's, kind of doing it just to do it and not really trying to win. So, I don't know, pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I think the athletes really get into that. That's why we give all the aid stations cowbells, nutrition, signs to cheer for everybody, and and then they bring their own music, so you'll get a little music selection all along the course too as well.
So if your playlist isn't working for you, just take out the headphones, listen to the cheers. It's going to be really great. Well, I wanted to thank you for this conversation. We're going to continue it in a few minutes, but we have more music on the way when we come back from the break.